Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to continue in the business of teaching children how to read. Of course with Jolly Phonics. Why Jolly Phonics? Jolly Phonics help children to read with ease through different means like storytelling, actions, and songs. Jolly Phonics has a systematic way of teaching children the sound from the simplest sound, and then they graduate to the more difficult sounds. This way, the children can start learning the sounds and start reading or blending immediately. In the last class, we discussed the different sounds in group 1. And then we practiced how to blend the sounds. Today we are looking at the sounds in group 2. Here are the sounds in group 2. The following letters are in group 2. Letter C, K, E, H, R, M, and D. Now we want to look at the sounds of these letters. Depending on how you are teaching your children in your school or home, some don't introduce the names of the letters to the children. Whichever method you use, what is important is for the children to learn the sounds and then to be able to blend the sounds to read. So let's go. We have the first letters here, which are letters C and K. Let's quickly look at how letter C is formed. And then, how do we form letter K? Okay, if you don't like this kind of formation, you can use the regular letter K formation. Now, how do you pronounce the sound of letter C and letter K? The first thing you need to know here is that letter C and letter K have the same sound, exactly the same sound. Some people say letter C is the curly sound, has a curly sound, and letter K has a kicking sound. So the two of them sound k, 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 as in cat and kite. The sound again, k, 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 sharp sound. That is the sound that letter C and letter K make. Example of words with k sound.
Cat.
Cat, cat. We also have can, can, cap, cap, and then kin with the letter K. Which of these images have the k sound? We have the first one, which is cats with a curly k, that's letter C. Then we have the kite.
Clock.
We have the kite, which is the kicking k. Number 3, we have the clock, which is the curly k. These are examples of words with the k sound. Can you try the sound? Okay, so with this sound now, we can go ahead and blend with the previous sounds that we have learned so far. The next sound in this group 2 is the sound that letter E makes. First of all, let's look at the letter E formation. Again, it is very important we teach our children how to form these letters correctly. Letter E sounds e. Remember, before you introduce the sounds to the children, we are going to tell them stories. You can form your stories on your own, or you use stories in the Jolly Phonics. Then we also have action. The action for letter E, we sound is to pretend as if you want to crack an egg. You want to pretend as if you want to crack an egg, you position your hand as you can see on the screen, and then you start sounding eh, as in set,
set,
as in 10, pen, net, and so on and so forth. Let's look at some images here that have a sound, like egg, nest, and hen. The next letter is letter H. Letter H. This is one of the sensitive sounds because some people mistake this sound. When they want to pronounce the sound of letter H, they pronounce another sound after it. So first of all, let's look at how letter H is formed. Can we see that? One more time. Remember, the flick that you have there helps you to join it to the next letter if you are writing in cursive form. What's the action of letter H? This action is very important in that it helps you to pronounce the letter correctly. You open your mouth a little as if you are gasping for breath, and then you go. Remember, don't pronounce any other sound after that. Don't say ha or he. In order to avoid pronouncing another sound after that, you will not open your mouth completely. You can practice that on your own, as in heart, 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 as in hate, hate, hate. If you mistakenly pronounce ha, you won't be able to pronounce this hate correctly. So remember, letter H sound as in hate, hip, 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 hooray. As in what again? Hard, hard, hard. Let's see some of the images that have letter H sound. Hen, hand, and heart, heart, heart. Now the next sound. The next sound is the sound that letter R makes. Remember, you tell the children the story? Okay, pretend to be a puppy, pulling a rag and shake your head from side to side. That's the action. Shake your head from side to side. And they start saying the sound. R. 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 How do you form letter R? Very easy. Practice, practice, practice. What are the words that have R sound? Rat, ran, rape, rest. Images: rabbit, dress, and rocket. Rocket. Let's move to the next sound. The next sound is the sound that letter M makes. This action is very interesting. The children will put their hand on their tummy and then rub their tummy and sound. How do you form your letter M? Remember, the children need to learn how to form the letters correctly. Let's look at some examples. As in man.
Man.
Mat, map, and man. The next sound is the sound that letter D. Very interesting letter. The sound that letter D makes. The action, you pretend as if you are drumming. D, 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 D.
D. D. D.
You need to be very careful here not to pronounce another sound after D. D. Let's look at how letter D is formed. Okay, now examples of words with the letter D sound.
D. Ah. D.
Dad,
Dad.
dad. Did, did. I did it. Hid, hid. And kid, kid. Let's look at words that have the sound. Dug, hand, drum, drum. That is letter D. Let's quickly go over the sounds again. Remember, letter C and K have the same sound. Yes, exactly the same sound. K. Letter E, H, R, M, and D, 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 D. You need to practice these sounds with your children over and over again until they perfect the sound. Remember, use different means: stories, actions, song, and repeat all these every day until they perfect these sounds. As you're learning the sounds, let them also use those sounds in words and blend them every time they practice. In the next class, we are going to be looking at some words that we can form with the first and second group. We blend with 2 letters and then 3 letters. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.